Hello, everyone. Today I'd like to talk about the topic of happiness, which is a huge topic, but I want to address the difference between creating your own happiness and looking for your happiness outside of you. There's a big difference. So I want to use the example of this little drawing. So here you are, here I am, whoever, person A in the middle of this beautiful pink circle. Okay, so this beautiful pink circle represents our happiness bubble or our okay bubble, our contentment bubble. Okay, but I'm going to call it a wall today. So we want to picture a wall that's tall enough to shelter us, to keep us within our contentment and our happiness. Okay, so if we want this wall to stay up, right, to stay strong, we either need to hold it up from the outside, we need to hold it up from the inside, or it needs roots, it needs footers, right? So when we talk about happiness, if it is a wall like this, and as in this example, a lot of us are conditioned to look outside of the wall to keep that bubble or that wall up, right? To keep it strong and to keep it capable of holding our happiness, holding our contentment, holding our mental and emotional wellness. So we look to others for strength, excitement, love, approval, and safety, right? So there's a problem with this, though, okay? There's nothing wrong with looking to the outside for some of these things, but it becomes a problem when we depend on it solely, or when we forget how to hold our own wall up from the inside, okay? So the reason why it's a problem, if we depend on it solely, I think my logo is right in front of that, right there. I'm going to twist it. So outside sources of happiness are temporary, unstable, variable, depend on the mood of others. They depend on our job, our house being okay, the climate, and the political stability of whatever country we live in or in the world, right? So if we are looking outside of us to keep our mental stability and happiness up and strong, then something can happen in these outside circumstances that change the dependability of that source of happiness, strength, approval, love, excitement, whatever it is, right? So if that happens, then out goes our happiness out the window. So what we want to do is start shifting to being able to hold up this okayness wall from the inside, not just from the outside. Now, once we start creating our own way of holding ourselves up and being happy, then look at how strong this wall becomes, right? So we push out, we also learn, we're going to talk about this later in the video, we learn how to ask for our needs to be met from the outside world in a grounded way. But if we don't get those needs met, we also can fall back on depending on ourselves to create this strength and this wellness, okay? So if we have both of them going, pushed up from both sides, we are very strong. We are very capable. We can stay in our happiness more often. Okay, so let's look at how to do that. So I want to talk about Marshall Rosenberg and the NVC, or the nonviolent communication approach that he designed and taught. A lot of people still study this. I've been studying this for years. I think it's been a life changer for me. So what he talks about is that our feelings come from either fulfilled needs or unfulfilled needs. Okay, so if we're feeling positive emotions like happiness, fulfillment, excitement, then that means we're getting a need met. If we're feeling feelings such as frustration, sadness, loneliness, disconnection, anger, then that means that our needs are not getting met, okay? So what this does, which is awesome, is it brings feelings out of this realm of a lack of control and a lack of understanding into something that we can do something about. So if our feelings are coming from an unmet need, we get to figure out, okay, well, what do I need? And then how do I try to get that need met so that my feelings can become more positive, a higher vibration, okay? So feelings are a result of fulfilled or unfulfilled needs. Now, how do you figure out what your needs are? First, you feel feelings, right? You notice that you're not comfortable, you're not happy, you're not grounded, or you're feeling feelings that just aren't supporting your daily processes, right? Then you think about, okay, well, once I know my feelings, I know there's needs that I'm not getting met. So what are those needs? Now, everybody has some needs that change and shift depending on what's going on in life, and then everyone also has needs that are kind of fundamental to who they are. I'll share some of mine to help maybe you think of some examples for yourself. So for me, connection, true connection, meaningful connection to other people is really important for me to be happy. If I don't feel connected on a regular basis, I become miserable and I need to go in and figure out why I'm not feeling happy. Okay, connection is one. Contribution is another big one for me. So obviously, right, you see I'm a health coach. I'm getting my needs met through my job, right? I've set up my life so that what I do for a living fulfills some of my needs, connection and contribution, right? But another one of mine is dependability. I have a need for dependability and honesty. Okay. Now, these are things, this is when it gets a little tricky, right? So, the connection and contribution, I can do a lot to create that in my own life, but dependability and honesty, that's something that takes a little bit more work from inside, right? So, honesty and dependability is something I can get from myself. And this is where becoming aware of yourself comes in. Becoming aware of myself in this example, right? So if I am feeling feelings, right? Like let's say I'm feeling frustration and maybe some loneliness in my life. And then I get to think about, okay, here's the feelings. What are my needs? I look at my needs that I know are a fundamental part of me. And I think about my life. I think, okay, well, am I getting this need met or not? Okay, so initially just this part is going to help get connection, right? From myself to myself. I'm already getting some of my needs met by just thinking about, okay, Melissa, what are you feeling? What are you needing? What are you not getting, right? That's self-connection. So I'm already on my path to feeling better, right? Immediately. So next, what I do is I make a list of my needs that are not being met, and I think, okay, how can I get these needs met? First, self-empathy, right? We've now gotten connected. We're feeling a little bit better. I can go farther than just thinking about it. I could put my hand on my heart and say, okay, I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling vulnerable. And I can connect into those emotions. And this starts sort of like an energetic domino effect in a positive direction, right? Because I'm calling out the feelings and I'm connecting. Now what that means is I'm grounded. So I can move to the next phase of figuring out how do I get my needs met. Now that I've gotten my emotions sort of calmed down, smoothed down, now I can think about, all right, well, I need connection. How can I get that feeling met? Then I think about the people that I know, in my case, friends or family, or if you have a partner, you can think about, what can I request? What can I groundedly request and not demand from my partner or my friends or my family in order to feel connected, which I have done on a regular basis. And my friends all know I need to be connected and they honor that. So that's a good thing that I've created in my life. So once we make a grounded request, it can be fulfilled or unfulfilled. So other people don't have to fulfill our needs. It's not their job, right? So if I go to my partner and I say, okay, on a Friday, I'm feeling unconnected. So on Fridays, can we have a date? I'd really like to go to our favorite dinner place every Friday. Would you be able to do that? Right? And then it's out of our hands. We have to realize that they can fulfill it or not. They can say yes or no. It's up to them, or they can say yes this week and maybe next week it won't work because they'll be totally tired, wiped out, and can't really give anything. So we have to be prepared for that. And that's where we go back to the self-empathy process. So gaining happiness, gaining self-empowerment starts with self-inquiry and empathy, and it ends with self-inquiry and empathy, right? Because even if our partner or our friends or whoever fulfills our request, we still can't depend on that forever, right? We have to be prepared for them to change. And we have to be prepared to fulfill our own needs, right? We got to go back inside the wall and say, okay, well, what if this one, what if that goes away for a week or 3 or whatever? Like, what if I don't feel like I'm getting that? Then you've got to take that and bring it out from the inside. That's self-love, that's self-awareness, self-acceptance, right? So in my health coaching work, self-care and self-connection is where empowerment comes from. This is where we create success in our lives, is from within the wall, within the bubble. And the NVC approach by Marshall Rosenberg is a huge part of what I use in my self-work and in my work with my clients. Because what I want to do is I want to foster self-connection, empowerment, and strength. This internal happiness is where we create our personal peace and where we spread that out, right? The world is a mess. Where do we start? We start here, right? We want to be a good example in the world. We want to have positive relationships. We want to have relationships that fulfill and not participate in relationships that don't. And this all starts from self-inquiry. What am I feeling? What needs of mine are getting met or unmet? So if you're vibing with this, I have a little needs and feelings inventory thanks to my NVC coach that I had for a couple of years. Thanks, Scott. And I've made my own additions to it. So if you would like to have your very own feelings and needs sheet, I find it extremely helpful. After a few years of doing NVC, I still use it. It's really great when I'm feeling ungrounded because I can get the piece of paper out and say, okay, what do I match with right now? What feelings do I have and what needs are going unmet? You'd be amazed at how relaxing it is to actualize, to recognize your feelings and needs personally without even doing anything, right? That's why journaling is powerful. That's why meditation is powerful. It's that self-reflection. Because a lot of times we're looking to get strength from outside the wall and we're feeling feelings because we're not getting that. And what we need to do is really foster our self-practices, our self-care. So I know you're busy. We're all busy. I am a mom of 2 adolescents. I'm running a business. I got a house. And I feel that. But these self-care practices and this self-awareness are going to make you an incredible parent and an incredible person in the workforce or in your business and in the world. The more and more we practice this stuff and become more at peace with ourselves, the better of an influence we are on those around us. This is where the world starts to become better, is each and every one of us doing this work for ourselves. So if you have any questions for me, please email me at raisethebarwellness.com. And raisethebarwellness@gmail.com. So you can reach me through either of those places. I'm also on Instagram as Raise the Bar Wellness and on Facebook. So if you want your feelings and needs sheet, please message me and I will be happy to send you one on email. I also do 10-week programs. I highly recommend these. These are life changers when we spend 10 weeks creating very doable self-care practice for you. Okay, you are amazing. I hope you have a great day, great weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Please like this video, follow me, and share this video with people you think might need it.